Hey guys, so I actually feel like I owe you. Why won't it let me do that? It's telling me I need to turn my phone this way for live, which kind of works better for the way that my phone's sitting. So let's just do a live this way then, and hopefully it doesn't fall. So I kind of feel like I owe you guys a live video, especially after Indy put that amazing post in the group. I love it. I'm actually going to go find it now. I love that. Janelle just put a post in the group that says it's not how you look, it's how you see. And that's kind of how I say it's not how you, like, it's not about just goals or how you look. It's about how you want to feel. But I love that. Anyway, Indy put a post in the group that said, people who are powerful bring others together. And my passion, as you guys know, has been in impacting as many people as I can and getting the word out there and finally decluttering. Sorry. See, I'm just catching up on the group now. I've spent a lot of the day just doing a lot of programming for you guys. So Margie has a new program and Faye has a new program. And I'm working on Nikki's new program as well, which I'll be doing tomorrow. But anyway, back to the actual conversation and topic. I'm going to stay focused on the one thing. And that's pretty much what I mentioned in my story. Not my story, but my post today when I shared Nikki's meme, quote, whatever, to my Facebook. I've been a beginner before. We all start as beginners, and I mentioned it in the podcast episode that Nikki Shepherd shared to the group. So if you haven't listened to my most recent podcast, go and listen to it. Because we forget where we start and we forget how we felt when we started. But I remember so clearly my fear of being seen in the gym when I first started, because I didn't want to get judged as a girl who didn't even need to lose weight or get fit. Because to me, that's what the gym was. And that's where I say our perspectives shape the way we view ourselves and shape the way we see things. And I don't know how many of you are aware of it, because I have mentioned it quite a few times before. But I had absolutely no confidence in myself, and I didn't have a good relationship with myself all of high school. I would remember telling my best friend, who was a graphic designer and a photographer, that I didn't want any photos of myself to go into social media unless they were photoshopped. And I hated my freckles. So if MySpace was still alive, you wouldn't know that I had this freckle, because it was always photoshopped out of my face. And it wasn't until I saw Marilyn Monroe with this amazing freckle in her face that I kind of started to be okay with it, but I wasn't really. And I used to hate these freckles because they look like a tick. And I don't know, I just found every single possible way to critique myself. And I don't know, I hated pretty much everything. And I only wanted to be seen in black and white. So a lot of my photos were black and white. And I got to a point in uni where I hated shopping for clothes, because I was always in the kids section and I felt like I looked like a clothes hanger and I didn't look good in anything. But I wasn't always that way, because before year 10, I was a KFC-aholic and a Krispy Kreme-aholic. I have not had donuts since year 9, nor do I want them. I don't have any desire for them. The thought of them actually makes me sick. But I used to be in the swimming squad. I used to play soccer. I used to be very, very, very sporty. So I was so used to just burning it off pretty much. And then I enter high school and I cared more about friends and people than sports. And I would sacrifice being active to sitting on my ass on MSN in the MSN days. talking to my school friends on MSM. And there I was, sitting down, being much more lazy than I used to be. Not playing as much sports as I used to. Still eating the same shit that I used to eat. And one of my friends and I used to like weigh ourselves at school all the time, and we used to like look at the scale and be like, ooh, we're like 40 kilos. This was in year 7, so we were small. But I don't know, it just seemed to, it's just funny how it all spiraled, because just from that age, I became very obsessed with just like how I looked and stuff. And it like, it's everything that we don't realize that goes on in our childhood, the way we've been brought up, certain things that have been said to us in the past that can still kind of spark that trigger. Even now, like a lot of you guys are letting moments define you in terms of, I'm not like, I'm having one of those fat days, I'm having one of those watery days, or I'm not feeling confident in my skin, but it's just manifesting in the way you feel about your body when it's actually coming from something else, like boredom, or something at work, or something not functioning properly in a relationship, and somehow it just manifests as how you feel about yourself. And you can't really distinguish the difference because you're not used to distinguishing the difference. And this is where the whole power comes into awareness and just being conscious of the thoughts that are going on in your head. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we all start at a point where we're at a confusion method where, like, I even admitted in my post, there was a point where I felt like I needed to earn my food, and I felt like I needed to burn things off. And this was obviously before I got into the whole fitness game and I started getting educated, and I realized that I was a complete dwarf. Believe in all that. But I mentioned in my podcast, if you go listen to my podcast today, the identity that I attached to myself when I was doing bodybuilding, and how fearful the jump was to just go into powerlifting. So if you haven't listened to my recent podcast, I'm just going to direct you to that so I don't go rambling on about that aspect. But if there's anything you guys want me to talk about in podcasts, like I said, I'm an open book, because that post Indy put up just hit so many strings. I just wanted to cry, because all I ever wanted was to bring a community together of strong women empowering each other. And that's why if you listen to my goal setting units in the units tab, I've always had the goal of just like 100 of you just building each other up, building an army, being able to support each other. And I'm bringing you together in this community, this family, to like help each other through things, to post in here, to be active with each other. And then I just pop in here like this, putting in a live video, overseeing things, checking the group whenever I get a chance. Because, like I always say, my job is to get you from where you were to where you want to be and beyond, by enhancing your life, by guiding you, by being that shining light, like a life coach. It's not a 12-week program. It's me guiding you through your best days of your life. That's what it really is, because once you get your mindset in the right place and you build a strong sense of self and you start to love yourself and all that you are, and be able to be very aware of the thoughts that go through your head and how they impact your decisions, and how that then impacts your results, which then creates this circling loop of your identity. Once you just see that from the outside, you really do become unstoppable. And I mentioned in the last live that I did, it's the most free that I've ever felt. And the only time that I get anxious over my own programming and my own stuff, which I'm trying not to do, but I still struggle with it because I hate thinking for myself, which is why I have my own coaches. But my coaches refuse to write me a meal plan. They just give me my macros and they make me plan it myself. So every single time I have my macros there, I plan my meal plan and I stick to it. And the only time that I change up that meal plan is if I don't feel satisfied with it, which now I feel so satisfied with it because I got a secret for oats, which I'm going to actually invite Nikki to this. Nikki. You're not in here. Nikki. Because, actually I'm going to invite Jody as well. Because you guys love your volume. I might invite, I don't know, Tracy probably doesn't do it. But, okay. Oats. Someone gave me a trick to make the most voluminous oats. Gelatin powder. Of course, it takes up some calories, so you're going to have to account for that. But it's very little. Like, if I don't like including gelatin as part of your protein powder or your protein macros, even though it's a protein. So what I've included it in my own macros is a carb. Because I'd rather it take a carb than take a protein off. Because I want quality protein, and gelatin isn't quality protein. So I put 5 grams of gelatin in my bowl of oats, along with my egg whites, my zucchini, and the oats itself. It's a winner. So that's enabled me to actually bring down my protein grams in my meal plan, because I actually keep going slightly over my protein macros, but now I hit my numbers perfectly and I'm happy. So that's literally the best thing about keeping things simple. And the magic behind don't fix what ain't broken, don't mentally masturbate over needing to make everything so complicated. Because the less time you need to spend in worrying about the minutiae, the more time you get to spend out there living your life. Worrying about the kids, worrying about your relationships, worrying about your career, worrying about everything that needs worrying. Like, you don't need to be so hyper-focused on the numbers, on the figures, and on your body. Your body is there to carry you through life. As long as you invest in it, in your health, your performance, making your body stronger. Because I feel like I've been given a whole new chance at life since finding this passion of mine. Because I did feel lost until I found this passion. Because I remember when I was trying to find my HSC thing, all I had written on my hand was 98.9. Because to get, I don't know what you guys used as measures for your HSC, but we used the ATAR score. And I needed 98.9 to get into my combined degree. Because I wanted my master's degree straight away, because I'm that person that wants everything all at once. And before that, I wanted to be a teacher, then I wanted to be a psychologist, then I wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to help people get out of court. But everything was always helping people. And that's why nothing has ever hit me so hard in the feels than doing what I do now. Anyway, that's just a massive ramble, but I really hope you go and listen to my most recent podcast. Because I just want you guys to really, really dig deep into what it is that makes you tick and where you've come from and remembering where you started. Not just looking at it as, okay, I'm this old, I don't really need to look into my past, but really realizing the person you've become on your own, because it wasn't Sheila or Karen or Susan that made you the person you are today. It has been your actions compounded over time. It hasn't been one particular moment. It hasn't been one particular thought, one particular, shit, I'm supposed to go for my walk. One particular moment, one particular anything. But it's been those decisions compounded over time. Those actions compounded over time that have made you the person you are today. So doing one little thing now, or thinking one little thing now, as long as you can pick up on it, switch it for the better, you'll end up compounding all of those little mini wins, all of those mini thoughts into the person you want to become. Anyway, I rambled way too much on this one. I don't really know if I should call it a 2020 live video. So if you do find any gold in this, please leave it below, because if this is something that can help you guys, then I will actually put it into the topic tabs, 2020 live videos. Otherwise, I'll just leave it free floating around in the group. I love you all, and if there's anything you want to hear on my podcast, let me know. I don't know whether I'm running or whether I'm walking today, because I'm not sure if it's raining. But yeah. See you. Oh, and check-ins tomorrow, Thursday. Check-ins Friday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Get them done. Mwah.